feel honored to be here. I hope it'll be a good step towards building a relationship between us.
I explained to them you went from your first letters calling us by our first names to Mr. Hampton. So it showed that you are growing.
I want you to be blessed, baby. Hey, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, okay?
God, we're leaving behind the chains of hatred. We're leaving behind the chains of bitterness. We're leaving behind the chains of everything, God, that has held us bondage over these past 3 years.
First, I was kind of afraid of it, well, what might happen in the individual session. But then definitely just start forgiving each other for things that's happened over the years.
We were just watching the dramatic video of the confrontation or need for the meeting. Why was that important for you?
It was important for me because I was carrying so much anger and hate, you know, and in order for me for God, you know, to forgive me, you know, I had to go ask Herbert Lee to forgive me.
That was really brave.
And it was really hard, too. I mean, really hard. It took everything in me to do this, okay?
Frankie, when you first saw Herbert Lee, what was the feeling that came through you?
If I could just get over it to you. That was the feeling of I just wanted to just grab him. That was my first feeling to see him, and it was like that for a while.
But Robin, you said that there was one important question. Right. It was the awakening of your power to forgive. Really what happened?
We went into a room, and I had my pastor with me, my uncle, and I just told Herbert Lee, you know, that I was sorry, you know, and asked him to forgive me for, you know, for the feelings that I've had, you know, because, wow.
And after you asked him to forgive you,
a load lifted off my shoulders.
Can you
like
say
rejoice,
today,
huh?
Rejoicing?
Yes.
Can you say today that you have forgiven?
I have. My son was truly an angel, yeah. I had an angel in my home. I mean, a true angel. My son, he loved everybody and everything, you know.
And you've done it. You've lifted that spirit. You're back working.
Right.
You're back functioning. Yep. And you know that anger can eat away at you. And when you don't forgive, you're really holding yourself back. Mm-hmm. You're not allowing yourself to have life. Joining us now is Ross Broadfuhrer, who is a spiritual coach. And Ross himself has dealt with great loss, losing his 15-year-old son in a car accident. Ross, what can you say about forgiveness? What is the definition of forgiving?
Well, I think that's a great question, because forgiveness, it's important to know what it's not. Forgiveness is not saying, hey, it didn't hurt or it didn't happen, or it wasn't wrong, or it's okay, because it's not any of those things. Forgiveness is recognizing the full brunt or weight or horror or tragedy of what's happened, then releasing the right to retaliate. Because really you can take one of four paths. You can take the path of vengeance. You know, you did X to me, well, I'll do double that to you. I'll do twice as bad. That's kind of vengeance. You can take the path of justice. You know, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You did this, well, I'm going to do this to you. And it's going to be even, or I'm going to take you to court or whatever. Or you can take the path of mercy. And mercy just means I'm going to let you off the hook. You know, you stole the $100, I'm going to forget about it. And then the last path, and it's kind of the path that these folks are talking about, is the path of grace, where you've done something bad to me, and I'm going to do something good back to you. And that's really the cleansing, healing part that can come with releasing my right, because you do have a right to retaliate, releasing that right that is so freeing. And that sounds like that's what these folks have done by extending kind of this offer of asking for forgiveness when they were the ones wronged. And that's kind of the path of grace that's often so freeing for people.
Coming up, we'll hear from a woman who's having a tough time getting past the pain from her ex-husband. We show her the power to forgive. Next week on Power to Change. Cornell, can you walk for us? They said he would not live. But Cornell Carson is proving doctors wrong after allegedly being beaten to death by his mother's ex-boyfriend. Now, this mom is fighting back to wipe out child abuse. Because you never want what happened to you to happen to anyone else. You won't believe how often it happens in Kentucky.
This is not something we're born knowing how to do.
The power to stop this epidemic next week on Power to Change.